everybody. I just wanted to show you one of my jackets. This is an Alpha Industries CWU-45P that I customized myself to give it the appearance of something from the Vietnam era. Uh, when I purchased this, it didn't have the orange interior, and it wasn't OD green, but it was this what they called the vintage green, and it had these heavy duty brass zippers, and it just was really reminiscent of the old stuff from the NAM era. So I had some extra patches because I collect patches as well. I didn't have anywhere really to put them, so I decided to start to use them. And what you see here is a combination of original patches from the 60s and maybe 70s, and also some repro patches that would have been very rare that have been rebuilt using some of the same machines. From what I understand, a lot of them actually still come from Vietnam. Um, but yeah, so this is the jacket that I built. It's representing a senior aviator, somebody who's been at the game for a long time, and an F-4 pilot. So that's a fighter bomber. It's a beautiful jet. I've always liked it ever since I was a kid. So up here on the chest, I've got an F-4 Phantom patch, which is designating his aircraft, obviously. Then we have the name patch here. Now, there's no name and rank on it. I left it blank, but this here is actually um, like a pilot badge. It's a command pilot badge, so it doesn't only just have the wings. It also has a star, and then it has a wreath around the star. So this is representing a pilot that's got 3,000 plus hours and at least 15 years in the Air Force. So this is an old guy, kind of like me, except he's been flying his whole life. Got Snoopy the Aviator down here. Snoopy was so popular back then. This is a repro piece, but it's done kind of the same way. It's got the same look, and it's really cool. Snoopy was super appreciated by those guys. Like, they put him on vehicles, they put him on tanks, they put him on helicopters and jets and all over the place. They were drawing him all the time. They just loved him. Now this one here is the real sweet piece. This is a 60s cowboy patch, and I mean, it's got to be at least 4 inches. It's just so cool, and it just screams the era. Now, looking at it, it's got the type of edge that was invented after 1966, whereas this patch over here, it's got the edge that had to be cut away, either by a machine or by hand. So you can see that these are really done the old way. These repros, as I was telling you, that you really, other than the fact that they should be rare, is the only indication that they're not original. I mean, these guys actually even go as far as to try and dirty them up. I think they actually soak them in tea or something, because they come, when you buy them, they come dirty. It's hilarious. I don't like buying dirty stuff, but so yeah, I've got the Republic of South Vietnam. I got their flag up here because a lot of guys would have worn that flag. But of course, over here, I've got an American flag as well. And this is original. This would be after 66, but it's old. I mean, it's really old. And it's nice. It's different. You just don't see anything like that anymore. And the whole thing is stitched, both the red and the white lines. And it's kind of got like inconsistencies that really do age it. You know, when the quality wasn't as good back then. This here is Lieutenant Colonel rank. That's the way they actually did them. They would seal them in plastic, and then they would sew the plastic. So I'll show you a close-up of that in a second. But those look really sharp up there on the top. In the pockets, I went as far as to grab these old-style 60s pens. These were really popular back in the 60s and 70s, and even up into the 80s. I remember seeing them, these yellow Bics. I actually had to order these from Japan to give you an idea how rare they are. Yeah, that's a tight, there we go. I just got some pencils in here as well, just to fill up the pockets. Not necessary, but you know, it's for me it is. So over here we have the Phantom 2 with the spook, like hiding his face kind of thing. I just love that patch. There was a similar patch to that in the Canadian EOD symbols. They used to do this like cartoony, like guy hiding his face like a magician. I always liked that. Air Defense Qualified. There's like 2 or 3 levels of this. I think there's 3. I don't think this is the highest one, but it was just one of their qualifications. So I guess it's like a defensive qualification for probably for dogfighting, to be honest, or at least protecting land or something like that, protecting the ground or the airspace or whatever. Over here we have another Phantom patch again with the spooky guy hiding his face behind the cloak. And down here, 1,000 napalm. Better support kills through chemistry. Oh wait, support better kills through chemistry. 1,000 napalms. So yeah, it's got the fire, the chemicals, like no joke. You know what I mean? Pretty dark stuff, to be honest with you. Over here we've got 100 Vietnam missions and 200 Vietnam missions. Now I would imagine that, like, if you were doing this jacket on a case-by-case basis, if this was actually a jacket the guy wore, he would have put this one first and this one up here. But the idea is this is a CWU-45P. It would have been built in the 80s using old patches. So that's kind of what I built there. And for now, the back looks blank, but I do have options for the back as well. So I'll show you what I mean and maybe get your opinion on it. Okay, so here they are up close. There's our cut edge F-4 Phantom. See with the inconsistencies. It makes it seem so real, to be honest. And that's called a marrowed edge. I looked it up between this cut and the last. That's the marrowed edge of our command pilot badge. Rank and name would go there. There's our Snoopy. How great he looks. Always happy, despite what Charlie's up to. And I didn't show you this one yet, but North Vietnam tester phase. Don't really know what that means, but perhaps they would go in and test the air defense. And of course, up top, we've got the South Vietnam flag, Republic of South Vietnam, which would have been very important. A lot of guys were sporting that, and we're proud to help those people. And yeah, there's our 60s badge. This thing is just the best badge here, man. It's like 4 inches wide. And yeah, cowboy, man. That's the American. That's the American cowboy right there. And yeah, says a lot. He's pulling his gun. Now it's got the marrowed edge. Again, you see? But it is old. I mean, it's so old it looks like 50s. But truth is, it's probably late 60s. But I'd be surprised if it was even 70s. You know? So there's our interior and our patch here. Let's see if I can pull that up for you. There's our patch. Kind of done not so civvy style. They're trying to mimic. You know, there's our beautiful brass pull tie. I just love that. To me, that makes the jacket, to be honest. Now, there's the ranks I was telling you about. So they take a regular, everyday rank, and they would laminate it between 2 layers of plastic, and they would sew through the plastic. That's how they did it. Just, it's clever, but it really makes it stand out. I mean, for the time, it would have been cutting-edge, futuristic-looking stuff, but I guess it was too cheap to stay with or whatever, but there's our flag. I'd put that in the 70s or so. I mean, it's old, but it's not, again, you know. There's pens, Phantom 2, air defense. That's a beautiful one. And then coming over here to the other side, got another rank. Square on the shoulder. We got our Spook Phantom 2. Cool yellow. The gold on the olive looks nice. There's our 1000 napalm. Just cold-hearted stuff, man. And 100 missions over the wire, so to speak. And last but not least, 200 missions North Vietnam with the Spook Ace of Spades. That's her. Okay, guys, what do you think? I bought all these too, and they represent basically a little bit of everything that you would have seen in the Vietnam War, all the different, you know, either the different aircraft or the different units that flew them. Like this one up here, with the Inspector Clouseau. He's like the recon guy. And those guys were recon unit and stuff like that. I mean, I'm going on memory, so I'm not going to pretend I remember what they all are. Obviously, this is AC-130, early Spectre. This is the beauty right here. The Huey Cobra, 4 feet wide and tons of depth. What do you think, guys? You think I should take the time to put those on the back, or should I keep it blank? I mean, I'm going to be honest, I kind of want to do it. The only reason I haven't done it is it's a lot of work. But what do you think? Let me know. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it a lot. So yeah, this is how it looks. And of course, it's no surprise on how it fits. They all fit the same, so you can't really go wrong with an Alpha Industries flight jacket. But it is cool to modify it and add some patches. It goes full Top Gun, you know? Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, you might like a few of my others, so please check them out, or at least consider it. It'd be cool if you did, I think. Alright, peace, yo.